Hey guys, I'm using my favorite raw nori sheets. They're by Sea Snacks. You can get them at Whole Foods or Erewhon, probably elsewhere, also online, I'm sure. And I'm going to use zucchini today, so I'm breaking out my spiralizer. So that requires me cutting the zucchini ends off and cutting it in half so I can fit it in the spiralizer that I have. I actually have two spiralizers. This one that I'm using is the first one I ever got, and I love it so much I can't seem to find it anymore. I don't even remember where I got it, but I looked on Amazon and eBay and just I don't remember where I got it. It's that old. Over 10 years, maybe 15 years old. But anyway, you put it in this little mechanism and you get either angel hair or the ribbons. And for this, I'm using the angel hair setting. And I'm going to use that. And then I'm also going to cut the noodles in a slightly different way just to give you variation. Now, if you don't have a spiralizer, you can just use a vegetable peeler. I will be using the vegetable peeler next, but it is kind of like a special one. It's got a julienne setting. So I think that's really cool. And then the other side of if you flip the peeler, it cuts it a different way. So I'll link that. I have it in my Amazon favorites under the kitchen section. So you can see it's a really great handy little device because it just cuts it so finely. So this is just another way of doing it, or you can use a traditional vegetable peeler. So this is what it looks like. It's like matchsticks, kind of, sort of. But yeah, I like doing this just to change things up. And it's, a little thicker than the angel hair. I really like doing the angel hair setting. It's really nice. But this is good too. It's nice to change things up and keep it interesting. All right, so next we are going to get our avocado. I ended up slicing it this time, but I think that when I'm doing nori rolls, it usually works out pretty well when I mash the avocado. Sometimes when I just slice it, it tends to not fill out the nori roll as well. But either way, you do come across the potential of it spilling out of the ends. But, whatever. You deal with it because it's so good. So, yeah, I sliced it this time, but feel free to mash it if that's what you prefer. When it comes to what you want to fill this nori wrap with, that's completely up to you. I decided to keep it all green, so I'm using avocado, I'm using the zucchini, and I'm using spinach. Sometimes I finely chop the spinach, but I didn't do that today. Sometimes I use spring mix. I'm not a big fan of romaine in my nori sheets, but I think spinach works really, really well, and spring mix. And then I've got my avocado, which thankfully I got a really good one. And I'm going to season this with sea salt, garlic powder, and lemon juice. To me, that trifecta right there is so universal. I can put it on pretty much any sort of dish, and it's going to work, and the flavors work really well together. And I just love doing that. It's like my go-to. And if you have lime instead of lemon, that'll work too. And then I'm just going to roll it up. And when you're going to use the zucchini, the julienne ones at least, I like to have the ends popping out just for an aesthetic purpose. A couple things you might want to do is dampen very slightly your cutting board or put a couple drops of water on your nori sheets just to keep them moist, so when you roll it, it's not going to, there, I added a little water there, so it's not going to rip, or, these are really good nori sheets. They're pretty sturdy, but using a wet knife and using a slightly damp nori sheet or cutting board just helps everything stick together. Yeah, so this is really cute, especially when you stand it up like that, but I know my rolling skills aren't the best. I don't use a sushi mat. I'm way too lazy. I don't even think I have mine anymore. I used to. I just don't know where the hell it is. So here I'm ripping up the spinach this time as opposed to keeping it whole. And I'm using the avocado I have. And obviously, I'm not really worried about presentation here. If you want to make it look good, you know, take the time to do it. But honestly, I'm just really hungry, so I'm throwing it together. And that's pretty much it. I'm doing the same thing I did with the other one. The sea salt, the garlic powder, and the lemon juice, rolling it up, cutting it in half, and enjoying it. I didn't use a dipping sauce. I didn't really think it needed it, but if you want to make an almond butter dipping sauce or anything like that, feel free to do so. But yeah, so I hope you try this. I hope you love it, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye.